Welcome back to another episode of Nanjing Podcast. And this is the second episode, and here we have a guest of ours, a really special guest here. He is a teacher in Nanjing who also is known to make use of creativity and innovate a lot in work. And yeah, he's also a song producer, photographer, cinematographer, creative director, anything you could say in this creative field. So yeah, can you please introduce yourself to our listeners out there?
Well, you've basically said everything. Thanks for that wononderful introduction. And so, I'm Mills, and as you said, when it comes to photography and video editing and stuff, those are what I do as a hobby.
Okay.
Yeah, not professionally. So my songs and stuff, they suck. So
Man, you're too humble, bro.
when it comes to photography, you're the best in Nanjing. So
no, you're too humble.
We're just trying to learn from you.
Man, bro, you're really too humble, man. Your work out there is professional standard, bro. Trust me.
Thanks.
You've been my inspiration ever since I started
You do actually.
this place.
We've been in like 2 or 3 separate competitions, and you've always been like on top. Like I remember this. There was this one that I was third and you were second, and this girl was first, and then there was another one. Like you were always on top of me, like.
Man.
So there's no way I'm the inspiration. I'm your inspiration. Like you're my inspiration.
Man, wait, bro, you're way too humble, bro. So yeah, where are you from again?
Ghana.
From Ghana. Yeah. So it's a long way from home up
Sure.
to here. So how long have you been in Nanjing?
11 years.
11 years.
Yep.
Bro, that's crazy. 11 years.
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, you've
Only in Nanjing.
only in Nanjing.
Only
You
in
haven't
Nanjing.
been to any other cities.
The best parts of China.
Dude. Have you like went back and forth to Ghana and like China over these past 11 years, or
Yeah, I've been back home 3 times. I think the first one was when I graduated. So that means I was here 4 years straight without going back.
4 years straight
Yeah,
during
without
uni
going-
time?
Yeah, sure.
Dude.
Yeah, because the money that you could spend on buying tickets, you could use that to buy chow fan,
Chow fan, man. Bro, respect. You still eat chow fan back in
Chow fan.
Backstreet?
Yeah, Backstreet, Yeah, those memories, man. Back in those days, chow fan was like, I think 5 RMB.
5 RMB.
I
No.
remember way back.
No way.
I remember way back. Do you know how much you could spend in a week in China? Way back, like say 10 years ago, 8-9 years ago. 'Cause you guys are kids, so you wouldn't.
Are we kids? But I mean, compared to you, maybe we're kids.
Yeah.
Just kidding,
8 years ago, you could spend 100 RMB for a week.
100 RMB. You're
a week.
kidding me.
Seriously.
No way.
Seriously, because what I remember is I used to teach like on Sundays, right? And then after my class, I'll get paid, and I get paid like 100 RMB. And so when I get paid, Sunday evening I'll go to Suguo, and then I'll shop for the week, the whole week, like with just 100 RMB, and I
No
could buy
way,
like
bro.
man. That's how far we've come. Like now, as soon as you step out of your dorm or out of your apartment or out of your house, like 100 RMB is gone.
That's so
it's
true,
magically
bro.
gone.
100 RMB.
But like way back there, like 100 RMB just a whole week.
Man,
Man.
now one day 100 RMB might not even be enough, man. Dude. So, so tell me, how you end up in Nanjing? I mean, 11 years back, you chose Nanjing as your first option?
Yeah, basically I came to China to learn, study.
Study?
Yeah, I did computer science. And
Okay.
and the school that I chose happened to be Nanjing. That was NUAA.
Bro, NUAA pride, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, NUAA students listening to this or watching this, per se, This is your big brother right here. Which batch again? 2009. 09
09.
batch, bro.
09.
Respect, bro.
09.
We're your little brothers here. Little kids, as he said. Yeah, so maybe introduce a bit to us about your creative works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the advantages that I've had personally, being into video editing, photography and stuff, and then being also a teacher, means I could create content which are very interesting for kids, you know, and for students of any age, you know. So instead of trying to find the appropriate materials to engage students, you can just create your own, you know, like instead of finding music online, trying to get on YouTube, which is a difficult thing to do here, you know. It just it's been very helpful during this quarantine period where we have to do most of the learning online.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know, so we had to find means and ways of coming up with lessons. You know, if you're gonna need like your green screen to create like some animations, some effects that are gonna engage kids. You know, I remember we did this this lesson on germs and how to wash hands. We incorporated some animations and stuff, and all this we were able to do, or I was able to do from my experiences in music, video making, video editing and stuff. You know? So that's been my advantage as a teacher. You know, being able to do this stuff other than just teaching. You know, so that's separate me from other teachers, so to speak. Yeah.
So I mean, respect though, bro. I mean, seriously, because you're the first person I saw throughout my whole life. Although my life is still like really short, but you're the first person who I saw actually implementing all these creative aspects. Like video production and you know, a green screen application.
You know,
it's special.
Yeah, you have to go all in. You know, I remember there was this time that my kid was given homework from his kindergarten. He was asked to make a video on germs and rubbish, how to put different rubbish in different bins, separate bins and stuff. So the mom was like, okay, so when the kids come home, we're gonna teach him the script, like what he's gonna say, and then I'm gonna take a video with my phone. And I was like, no, there's no way I'm gonna allow you to take a video with your phone. So I went to their playroom, I cleaned the playroom, I set up 2 lights, 2 cameras, like I went all in, you know. like he became a star, like with the mics and everything, and then we were able to come up with something which was very nice. Like he took it to school, and his friends and teachers all loved it, you know.
Of course, bro.
Yeah, and when we're shooting the videos for the kids, you know, it's already a difficult task to ask kids to learn from home, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
They staying behind the computers, behind the iPads, and just watching a boring lesson is something that kids cannot do, you know. So we try as much as possible to make the lesson interesting, and the only way for you to be able to do that is to think outside the box, to be creative. You can't just take a phone and just start to record. You need to know that you are not in the class anymore. You understand? You are trying to convey a message to somebody who is not even there with you. You understand?
Yeah,
so you have to be all in. You have these experiences, so how can you apply them into something else? Yeah.
Okay. I mean, seriously, still, bro, respect. Just one word, respect, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
I mean, being able to, you know, apply all these creative skill sets that you had is such a awesome thing, man. Seriously. And who would have thought just teaching could have such, you know, a creative aspect behind it. And so, yeah, I mean, I would like to ask you, how did you manage to learn all these skills? like video production, photography, or also music. Yeah, because music is something that you are very passionate about.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, okay. Let me start with the video making and stuff. I think there was this time in school. That was the first time I held a camera.
Okay.
It was this camera from another parent of a kid in our school actually. So he was like, "Could you help me shoot this video? Because I have something else to do. I'm going to do something else." Like I was helping him shoot the video of his kid in our school, and that was when I felt like I was like, "Whoa, like this is very nice. This shooting stuff is very nice. Like you being able to find the right angle, the right spot, and then you being able to capture a moment. You understand? Yeah. So, yeah. And then I instantly got my first camera. You know, I remember that was like I think 770 Canon, and then from there I just started shooting. You know. So that was how the photography and stuff came about, and mostly learning from YouTube. Getting your tutorials and stuff on YouTube during your free time, you know.
I guess YouTube has always been like the place for us.
I saw this meme. Sorry, I saw this meme, and this meme was like, this guy was saying during his graduation day, he's gonna thank first and foremost YouTube. he's learned like 60% of
everything from YouTube. Yeah, everything from YouTube.
And then 40% from the teachers.
Oh God.
Yeah, and then when it comes to taking photos, is it taking photos? Yeah. There was this time that my wife and I went to Shanghai. Yeah, so that was the first time. That was actually the first time I started shooting landscape and stuff. And so I realized like there's so many things you can do when it comes to photography. There's like nightlife, there's landscape, there's like so many stuff, right? So I was like, oh, maybe I could do landscape. I could do is it long exposure shots? Yeah. So just find my niche and then just work on that. Yeah, and then when it comes to music, I was actually making music for a friend who used to rap, you know.
Oh,
yeah.
So you were a producer.
Yeah, and I was making the beat for him, and then he would just rap, right? And then I think he went back home, and then I was like, okay, he's gone back home. So what am I going to do with the rest of the beat?
Okay.
So I took the first beat, I worked on it, and then was like, oh, okay, this is nice, because I don't do this professionally, you know. So I just do it like when it's nice. When I think it's nice and it's nice, like I don't like put it out there for people to tell me what it's nice. Like I think it's nice and it's nice. Like I like it. So like let me move on to the next beat. Yeah. So that was how it came about. So I just kept on rapping on the songs that I've already made because there was nobody to give the songs to. So my original intention wasn't to make beats and then rap on the beat. It was like just making the beat and just giving out to a friend. But like, yeah.
Okay, so it was you're originally making beats.
Yeah, just making the beats.
Okay.
And then when there was no one to rap to the beats, I had to do them myself because then you're gonna have a lot of beats without anyone.
Of course, but you end up singing to it, rapping to it.
Yeah. The thing is, like you have to write your own songs, you have to make your own beats, and you have to edit your own videos. Because
man, how many songs have you written till now?
So far,
do you remember?
It should be like 10.
10?
Should be 10 with one not released, so let's say 11. 10 are already released.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to make a lot of songs like in a short while, like during a short period, you could come up with a song real quick. But like when we start to get busy, with the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So now it takes a very long time to complete just one song,
Families first, yeah. So yeah, you've released the greatest MV, right?
Yep.
Yeah, guys, check that out. The greatest MV.
Yeah.
It's out right now
YouTube,
in YouTube. Just search for the greatest by Mills.
Yep.
And also Yoku, right?
Yeah,
Bilibili,
Yoku and Bilibili, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so you've just launched the recent MV, The Greatest. So what is, can you tell us a bit more about the inspiration behind the song and in relation to the MV itself? Yeah.
The the inspiration behind me writing the song itself was basically to talk about what we go through as people in a foreign land, as students in a foreign land. We basically don't have the much needed guidance from parents or elderly people. So the most we're gonna get are those from peers, or from friends. So our primary responsibility is to find the right spot, is to find the right people to be around with. When you find the right people to be around with, everything is going to fall in place.
Yeah.
But if you don't take up that responsibility of being around the right people, then you're going to end up in the wrong place. And
I feel you.
Every action that you're going to take is going to mount to something else, and the time will come, those past actions are gonna predict your future. You understand?
Okay. Yeah, that's
So it was just me basically telling the new students out there, that we're all here to pass time, to have fun, but it's like our primary objective to come here was to learn. So why don't you take that as your main objective, and then you can still do the other things that you want to do. You can still have your parties. You can still do, like, you should have your full-time job, and then you should know which one is your part-time job. You shouldn't confuse the two. You understand? Yeah.
So students out there should really assess their priorities and understand what they need to do.
Yeah, you should understand, like, once you're here, it's somewhat on your own. The most your parents or the people who used to be your guides, like those, the most they can do is just to talk, either on the phone or on Skype. Like it's not like they can come here to like, you understand? So you're basically on your own. So you need to man up, take responsibility of your future, because at the end it's your future. It's not going to be your parents' future. You understand? It's going to be your future. So what do you want your future to be? You understand? Yeah. So that was the reason behind the song.
Okay. So it's a really, really deep meaning song, and I mean I can really relate to that because I've been through that too. 4 years of university life, and it's definitely like what you said. You gotta have your priorities set. You gotta make sure you have good friends around you who's gonna set you on the right path. So how can you tell us a bit more behind the production of this whole song, starting from the songwriting, the production, and maybe the cost of it? If you can link it to us, maybe.
All right. So my music making process is, because there are different ways of making beats. Some people start with the feelings, like according to the way they feel, and then they come up with the beat. And then some have to listen to an artist rap or an artist sing, and then they come up with a beat to follow the song. But for me, I just come up with the beat first, and then I try to follow the emotions with the song.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when I made this beat, and then I just thought, wow, if I could give this song this title, what am I going to talk about? Like, it being the greatest. you being the greatest in what? The greatest in everything you do. So when I made the beat, I gave it the title, and then I just had to follow up with the lyrics to back up the title.
Okay. Sorry for that cut right there. Had some problems. Yeah. So you were talking about the production.
Yeah.
So do you have any kind of like tips, advice for young music artists who's like inspiring to become one here?
If you really want to make it out here in China per se, you know, music making now is not easy because everybody's doing it. So it's like you putting a video out there on YouTube. There's so many videos on YouTube now. If you want to stand out, then you have to up your game, like better quality, better audio, better video quality and stuff. You understand? So if you want to get into music making, like especially here in China, you have to first target your audience. You have to understand that. That's why most of the songs that I write have a little bit of Chinese.
Oh yeah,
in it.
yeah.
This is to engage the Chinese audience.
To engage the locals.
Yes.
In here. Okay.
It's just gonna be an easier way for you to, because you can't produce an all English music video and just publish it on Wechat or somewhere like. Well, if it's gonna be on YouTube, fine. If it's gonna be on Instagram or somewhere like fine, but like. If you're gonna put on Wechat or something like or Yoko or something, you're just gonna expecting the expat, like people from the expat, like the foreigners here, to be able to listen, but not the Chinese people itself. So, and this is an advice that I give to a friend of mine. It's like you need to have some sort of Chinese in your songs to engage the Chinese fans. It's just gonna be way easier for you to expand. You understand? Yes. Because it's now a battle between Chinese fans and then the expats, foreigners in the expats community, right? And it's not like there aren't many foreigners who are going to be listening to your songs.
That's kind of true.
Yeah. But like, let's say a Chinese person become very intrigued hearing a foreigner sing in Chinese. Like, oh, like this is a foreigner who likes Chinese, who can speak Chinese and is even rapping in Chinese or is even singing Chinese, right? So they're gonna love such music. So you have to engage such people. You understand? Yeah. So this is just my little advice. Like if you have a song, just 3 or 4 lines, put in some Chinese words. It'll be good for you.
Yeah, definitely, guys. I mean, I think it comes back again to depends on your audience, your target audience, right? Yeah. But it's a really good thing to incorporate Chinese lyrics, so that you can also grab the other audience, and expand. And yeah. I mean, I think I never thought about that. I think that's a really good thing. It could be done also for not just music makers, also video filmmakers also could incorporate that. And I think it's actually being done quite a lot now in the film industry, right? As you can see, like most of the movies now include Chinese actors.
Chinese actors,
And that is
like once the Chinese sees that, oh, there is this foreign movie, but there's a Chinese in that movie.
Yeah.
At least we can watch it.
And that's I mean really expanding the market of the movie itself. And I think it's definitely going to be the same as music producers. Yeah. So can you talk a bit about your very first ever music, which is like released here in the Chinese platform?
That song was titled From Nothing.
From
nothing.
I thought it was like from nothing, like you had no idea and then suddenly something pop out. But
it was,
so the title was From Nothing.
Yeah, the title of the song was From Nothing, that you can also find on QQ Music. Yeah, and the idea behind that song was like, as we're talking about, I told you could, like 9-10 years ago, you could spend 100 RMB in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was what I was getting personally. So I had to spend 100 RMB for a whole week, and then there were days that my meal was baozi, baozi, right? So like
Baozi.
morning you're gonna have baozi, and then with Coke.
Okay.
Like 2 baozi and then 1 Coke, and then that's for the day. That's for the day.
How much does it cost for back in the day?
Back in it, I'm not sure about the baozi. I'm not sure about that. But like that, let's say if I have that at noon, then that means I'm done for the day. Like 2 big baozi.
Really, bro?
Yeah, the struggle was real back then.
For real, man.
Yeah. So if you listen to that song. That was actually one of the only songs that I actually paid another music producer who does music producing professionally to work on for me. Yeah, and that's the only song of mine which is on Spotify, Apple Music. It's on iHeartRadio. It's on a lot of platforms because I had to pay for it to be published because that song was really special to me. Yeah, so I really had to work on that. So that was my first song actually. So when that came out, I was like, okay, I'm not going to spend that much on any song again. so I was like, okay, so what is music production like? What is after making beats, you need to know how to mix the beats.
Of course.
Yeah. So like I had to get on YouTube, learn beat mixing, like music mixing and stuff. Yeah. So I was like, there's no I'm going to spend that much on it.
Okay. Do you still remember how much you spent back in the day?
For that song, I spent around 2,500. Around 2,500, yeah. And I even think that was still
2,500.
And I even think that was still cheap because it was cheap because the guy who produces he's one of the famous music producers in Nanjing. But
Okay.
I sort of knew him, so he had to take something for the company. Like it couldn't just be free. But I'm sure it could have been much higher. Yeah, so because the music I do, they're not for shows and I don't sell them. So I'm like, why should I spend that much money on music that I'm not gonna make shows out from? You understand?
Of course.
And these are things like music mixing and stuff. They're basic things that you can do yourself. That I was like, okay, then I'm gonna learn this myself and then do them. So yeah.
All right. I mean, yeah, that's a long. That's a lot, though. I mean, 2K back in the day it's like maybe what 10K now.
Yeah, that's a lot,
dude. If back in the day it's like just 100 RMB for a week, 2K is like, man, bro, I can't even imagine. Bro, oh, damn, man, that's a long way, bro. So yeah, seeing that you've been here in Nanjing for such a long time, creating music, working, hustling, having, experiencing almost, I think, almost all the ups and downs in Nanjing.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice you could give to the students who are studying here in China, especially?
Yeah. Follow your dreams, just follow your dreams. But the thing is, follow your dreams wisely. The dreams and aspirations that we set should be attainable. You should set goals which you sure within your means you can attain them. Like within a set period of time, these goals could be attained. You understand? And then you need to be in the right environment to be able to get to that goal. You have to understand that. Yeah, you have to understand that the people you are with now, the circle you have is going to change. It's either going to grow or it's going to shrink. So when it grows, what kind of people are you going to have in it? When it shrinks, what kind of people are you going to have in it? Are these the people that you think they're going to put you on the right path? If not, then that means you're in the wrong room. But basically, just follow your dreams and try to learn many things as much as possible. Try to be to be the kind of person who can do many other things, not just one
that's
thing.
true. I think that is also really important, especially now.
Yes.
Like in 2020, with all this, social media and all this stuff, because everything is very easy nowadays.
Yes. Especially with this, let's say with this quarantine stuff, right? With this pandemic, everything has changed. We've changed the way we teach. We've changed the way we work. Right.
Yeah.
We've changed the way we interact with people. So let's say you're a teacher and you're only fixed with like teaching in class. Like let's say you're a worker, you only know how to work in the business setting, but not at home. We all have to change our lifestyles now because of this pandemic and being quarantined at home.
That's true. That's true.
So being a student, you need to be diverse. You need to learn other stuff. And how can you learn other stuff? You need to pick up some hobbies. So it doesn't need to be. It could be sports. It doesn't need to be something technical. It could be sports. Learn some sports, something else. You don't know what will happen. If your schoolwork doesn't work out, maybe you'll be good in playing some sports, which is still gonna help you.
That's true. Because back in the days, I think I don't know for you, but I think for me, even till my age here, we are told to like study vertically. And vertically, I mean, is like, get more knowledge in one major or one subject. Like for example, engineering. You gotta study engineering until like masters or PhD, and then you work on something else, right? I think nowadays it's different. It's more to like diversifying your portfolio, not just being an engineer. You could be an engineer, you could be a business man, you could be an entrepreneur, you can be a singer also, any other stuff. All these skills would really matter in the long run. As a student and as a person, I guess.
Exactly.
And like you're like the real example right here, right? what did you study back in the
Computer science.
See, come on. Computer science plus photographer plus videographer plus all this other stuff, man, dude. You've learned, and I mean you're like a real life example of how to diversify horizontally, with all these different other skill sets that you could have. I think that's really important. And it's really led you to where you are right now.
Sure.
So do you have anything to say? I mean, because you also kind of like have a lot of fans out there too, right? Do you have anything to say to your fans out there?
When I because I have like 10 songs released right now. When I got to my fifth song, before releasing my sixth song, I was like, this is gonna be my last song. And then I released the sixth one, and then I released the seventh one, and I released the eighth one, and then I kept on just releasing songs. Although I was telling my fans like this is gonna be my last song, but like, I just wanted to know. The music never stops,
Music never stops.
Whenever the inspiration comes, I'm gonna release a new one. So I hope they like the music, and the music I make, they're not for shows, and I'm just trying to put out my feelings out there, my ideas, my advice out there. So if you feel the song is nice, you can just share it, man. Show some love.
Respect, bro. Respect, man. I feel you, bro. So I guess that's gonna be all for our
Thanks for having
podcast,
me, man.
Really a pleasure for me.
Thanks for having me.
For you to be here in our show, bro. Man, you're a legend, bro. Here, and more people need to know about Mills, definitely, because. I mean, not everybody here, especially new students who's coming and they're new to the scene in Nanjing, they might probably not know you, or because we live in a different sphere. Even I don't really know a lot about students who's coming right now, and that's why I'm trying to start this show and let people explore more on the people of who's staying in Nanjing and
the experiences and stuff.
And the experience and stuff because people come here and think that they know everything sometimes. And that's what we want to share. So I guess I'm gonna end this episode today.
Right.
That'd be okay. So guys, that is the end of our podcast. If you like this podcast, please give it a thumbs up in our YouTube. And if you have any other suggestions or maybe other guests that you might like to have in our show, please put it down in the comments below and let us know what you think about Mills. Also, don't forget to follow Mills right here. We'll be putting his link down below, his YouTube, Bilibili, and Yoku, QQ Music, Wang Yi. He's got everything here. Definitely a great guy. And okay, so that's the end of our podcast today. And see you guys. Stay tuned in the very next episode of Nanjing Podcast.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Peace out.